What is going on, fam? How are y'all doing? I'm not gonna lie, I almost did not come on here simply because I just kind of wanted to not really do much today. Kind of weird. And that's actually bad habit of mine where it's like I plan to do something, I get excited, and then I just like I don't necessarily know if I want to follow through and shit. That's kind of like I said, it's a bad habit of mine, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna take down this glass of water real quick. But I am in no way sponsored by these people, and I just started using this. But I have some chlorophyll here that I've been doing this for like the past 5 days or so. I accidentally skipped a day, but I've been doing this chlorophyll for about 5 days or so. Just add it to your water, and it's supposed to like help clear out your body of toxins and all that good stuff. It's supposed to make you healthier. Ooh, wow, that was a big one. I don't think I got the full number of drops in there. But how are y'all doing today, guys? I probably put too much in there. How are y'all doing today? Are y'all having a wonderful Monday, day of the moon? So you see how it just turned to green? It's like a dark green. That's how you know this shit's good, though. You know? Working on that heart chakra. But anyways, what's going on? I titled this super ultra mega quantum evolution. And it's funny, I haven't taken any notes for this weekly astrology. I literally just press go live, and here I am, 30 minutes after I said I was going to go live. And yeah, for some reason, it wasn't that I was in a bad mood or anything like that. It wasn't so much I was feeling unmotivated. It was like a pure moment of I just feel like playing video games, and that's really what I've done for the past couple hours. Is I binged Madden while listening to the Joe Rogan podcast and him interviewing Killer Mike. But listening to these two people, and they're like super freaking productive people, and I'm sitting here like, damn, I'm just sitting here on the couch not doing shit, and I'm trying to, do what I can to spread the awareness of the stars. And I'm just sitting here. I could be doing stuff, and you have those moments, and I do my best. I am my own biggest critic. So it's like when I'm just like, even if I want to do that, if I genuinely just want to just sit down and play video games, I don't even play video games a lot. But I can't just play for like 30 minutes. It's either I play for like 10 minutes and it's like just my handheld game, or I play for like over an hour. Sometimes going upwards or 2 hours. Like this last little session just now. I can't just play a 30-minute game and then put the controller down. It's either like I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of guy. It's like, and that's just kind of where I found myself for the past couple hours. And I don't think I've even gone outside today, which is even a weirder thing. It's about to get cold here in Georgia. Apparently, we're about to get this snow, this wintry mix. They have already canceled schools. Yeah. We have a very powerful week, guys, and I did not want to short you all on not coming on the live video, even though I scheduled it. So I know I don't have a giant channel right now. I know I don't have thousands of subscribers, although I do in places, but in not readily apparent seen places, if you know what I mean. But I didn't want to not come on here. Even if I came on late, I do apologize. But sometimes life is like that. Sometimes you just need to chill and just kind of recuperate. And I had a pretty intense day at work yesterday, so I think that's really what happened. Is like I worked my fucking butt off, and I made more money than I realized. I didn't realize I hadn't made as much money as I did. But the thing is that I'm kind of in a position in my life where I want to take what I made yesterday, and I want that to be doubled on a daily basis. That's where I want to be. Um, I'm really a problem talking about this. I'm a server in the suburbs of Atlanta, so I'm not going to make a lot of money, right? Well, my tax kind of showed that I did, and I probably have made more money in the past year than I probably made it any other year that I've served. So that's cool. And I do have some things to show for it, but I do want to crank it up a notch. But I'm not going to do it serving unless I go to like downtown Atlanta at some really high, like high end dining establishment, which that's not my path. My path is talking to you all, doing these videos, talking about the stars, the celestial bodies, doing tarot card readings, and of course writing and poetry and the artsy stuff. And we're actually in the process of moving. We're going to be moving. We're going to be in this apartment for like another month or so, like maybe a month and like a week or so, and we're going to be moving, and that's going to be a fun process. And I'm actually going to have an office, so you guys don't know it now, and I guess I could just kind of flip around the so I mean, there's the kitchen. You got the living room right there, so it's like I'm actually where we have this set up. I'm actually in the designated dining space, just a one-bedroom apartment. But we actually are upgrading to a two-bedroom apartment. We're gonna have more space, which is gonna be very nice. I'm gonna have my own designated office, which is gonna be really good. I actually have a green screen, so what I'm probably going to do is just have the desk up pretty much with the green screen behind me. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the tapestries, but they'll go in other places. I also have all these paintings that I'm excited to put up in my office, and then I want to start a whole new like wall of new paintings and stuff. So, and those are going to be paintings from like the get go. So even some of the more recent paintings I've done, still haven't finished. Um, Such as this one, which is one of my favorite ones I've done recently. I still haven't finished this. I still have all this background space to do. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. That's why I've kind of stopped. But honestly, I have another one up here that I have yet to finish as well. So I have a couple of these bad boys. But it is what it is. I know you guys probably don't want to just hear me talking about myself and shit. You probably want to actually want me to get to the astrology, but I think it's good to let you all know kind of what's going on, just so you kind of have like a background and basis, and also just know that I'm human. Or I'm a spiritual being having this human experiment. See, my hair is all nice today. It's all like all over the place, and if you couldn't tell, I have like this spot right here in the front that's actually like not growing as fast. And I know exactly where this came from. It was the night several years back when I tried to like plait my own hair, and I left it in for too long, and I only had this one spot that I did. Honestly, kind of glad I didn't do the whole of my hair, but this hasn't been growing as fast since. So, but it also runs in my family to start to have this receding and stuff. But that's just kind of where I am right now, where I am today. But guys, we have a super powerful week. I almost knocked my glasses off. We have a super powerful week, but let me actually get the video up so I can actually communicate with you all. Let me mute that so you don't hear the echo. And this way I can actually chat with you guys, anybody who happens to join. So, but no, that's not cool. So yeah, but we are here, guys. This is your weekly astrology horoscope from January 28th through February 3rd of 2019, and what a powerful week we have. It's just sort of one of those weeks where you kind of definitely want to clean up your act, and it's one of those weeks where it's like, you can kind of renege on, some of the goals that you have or promises that you made to yourself, but just know that after this week, reneging on these things is going to prove to be a lot more difficult to deal with. And not that I necessarily want to project that out there. That's honestly just the astrology. That's honestly the astrology. Really, we have until the new moon in Aquarius, which I have to actually look it up. Let me just look it up real quick. But it happens, I want to say it's next week. Let me get this new moon. Um, what date of it? But yeah, the new moon is going to be on February 4th. So yeah, next Monday. So literally a week from today. You really do have 1 week to kind of, get some things together, to kind of get things in order. Because and here's the thing. You're going to make goals, you're going to strive for things, and you're going to fail. But you have to give an honest effort. And I think after this week, if you really truly give an honest effort, then you're not really going to receive any type of backlash. But if you don't give an honest effort, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Um, this new moon in Aquarius is super powerful that we're coming up on, and we of course will talk about that when it comes. But this is a very powerful week because we have some pretty major alignments coming up, and of course I will show you all in the charts. But we do have the Sun and Mercury come 8 degrees of Aquarius. Now they conjunct exact 9 degrees of Aquarius. So that conjunction will actually be tomorrow. But they are going to move into 9 degrees of Aquarius together. And this is very important. It's actually where Mars retrograded at. Mars last year retrograded from Aquarius to Capricorn, and it retrograded from 9 degrees of Aquarius to 28 degrees of Capricorn. So this Sun Mercury conjunction is super powerful because it's actually highlighting that Mars retrograde. And what is Mars? Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of getting things done. In many ways, it is the planet of the ego and the individual, but really the spark that it really takes to initiate just everything. Honestly, it's this. That's why it's the first sign of the zodiac. So it's like, in many ways, you can almost say that Aries represents the Big Bang, and then you have these two different lines. You have one going this way, which is, of course, the usual cycle, the zodiac from Aries to Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so forth. But then you go the other way, and it's kind of interesting how the ages actually move back. So we went from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, but yet everything, that's why we live things forwards and backwards. It's kind of a weird thing. So if you think about it, if you really believe in the Big Bang, you have to think that it wasn't just things going this way. You know what I mean? Say like there's like a Big Bang, what about that? It wasn't just things going that way. It went that way. It went that way. It went in and out. It was a huge, huge deal. So you got to understand that when the Big Bang happened, and if you can kind of say that the Big Bang is probably the final degrees of Pisces and the first degrees of Aries, if you want to say it's that. Although I would argue also that it probably is between the first degrees of Sag and the final degrees of Scorpio. And Mars does co-rule Scorpio. But, you know, this is one of those moments where we're kind of going into a bit of a Big Bang energy. Like I said, this Mercury conjunct the Sun, and whenever Mercury conjuncts the Sun, anytime planets conjunct, it amplifies the powers of those planets. So the Sun, of course, represents our awareness. In many ways, represents our persona, what we reveal, what we illuminate to. And Mercury is the planet of communication. So there's going to be this illumination of all of this stored thought over the past year that we've had. And the stored thought is in regards to all of the actions that we have taken since that Mars retrograde. You got to think Mars right now is in Aries, and Mars spent pretty much so much of last year, in the signs of Aquarius and Capricorn, and then it went through Pisces, and now it's finally in its home sign of Aries. So Mars has been put through the ringer, and it's finally actually feeling like it's moving forward in many ways, especially now that it's in its home sign. But with this Mercury conjunct the Sun, at that moment, at the degree that Mars retrograded, this is high. Not only that, but it's an action degree. It's 9 degrees of Aquarius, which Mars rules that step. Mars rules 9 degrees. It rules that number in numerology. It rules 9. So for the planet of communication to conjunct the Sun at this degree, not only is it illuminating all of this stored thought from all the actions that we have taken since that Mars retrograde, but it's also going to be setting the seed for how we're going to carry ourselves into the future, to the rest of this Aquarius season and to the rest of this year, because this is majorly important. You got to also consider Mars was retrograding in this area when, let's see, it was yeah, I'm pretty sure the South Node was there when Mars was going through this retrograde. So that's huge in and of itself. Like, this is also one of the first major conjunctions in Aquarius that we're going to have, if not the first one, with no South Node. So this is like almost like a purer form of that Aquarian vibe. And I don't know about you, but this Aquarius season has been intense so far. Like, it's been weird. Weird. And we're not even like we're just now about to get out of the first decan. We're just now about to get out of this first decan. It's part of the reason why I'm titled this the way that I did. Because this is a super, ultra, mega quantum evolution. Spell Zing, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for joining. I overthink everything, stupid perfectionism. Dude, I am the definition of perfectionism. I have my Jupiter and Virgo, which is already doesn't like to be in Virgo. It would much rather be in Pisces, but I have my Jupiter in Virgo conjunct Vesta at 11 degrees. They're both at 11 degrees, and they're in Virgo in my 10th house, right? So I overthink my purpose and my legacy and why I'm here so damn much at 11 degrees. And 11 degrees is also ruled by Virgo. And Virgo is a very mental sign. I overthink everything. I overthink so damn much. It's ridiculous. My son is at 6 degrees Aqua. Well, happy belated birthday, Spellzing. Happy belated solar return day. I hope you had a wonderful solar return. Mars in Aquarius was amazing. My fiance has Mars in Aquarius. It definitely shows. It's funny because she's a sun in Mars in Aquarius. I'm a sun in Mars in Scorpio. So in many ways, our personality and the way that we act seems a little bit foreign to each other. But squaring energies, even though they offer their complications, so I should say, they actually can really help to promote each other. It's kind of like, I like to think of the squaring energies in many ways. It's kind of like it's like teammates that build each other up. It's like, they can't go against each other. It's like sometimes you have like sometimes they play different positions and stuff like that, but they help to build each other up. So squaring energies aren't bad at all. You just have to know how to work with them. But do you have the birth chart of Mother Gaia? That would be badass. If Mother Gaia had a birth chart, I mean, I don't know what her chart would be like, but if she had a chart, and I would have to, well, there's definitely a lot of Cancer energy there. That's for damn sure. There's definitely Cancer energy, and I'll have to say that that Mother Gaia would have her North Node in Cancer. Probably Ceres conjuncts her North Node because Ceres is the mother, and Ceres is the asteroid of the mother of food, believe it or not, and of nurturing. So if anything, Mother Gaia would have her Ceres conjunct her North Node in Cancer. Definitely a Taurus moon or a Taurus rising, I would say. And if there is a planet of forgiveness, then she has that on her north node as well. Because honestly, like Mother Gaia is so forgiving, and that's something that I've been trying to tap into is the vibrations of gratitude and forgiveness, because I think those are two very key vibrations right now. Because what I do to myself is that I will overthink, and then I'll actually begin to feel weird pulses in my body, and I feel like something is wrong, or I'll overthink to the point where I can actually see my thoughts. I'm a progressed sun in Sagittarius, so I'm starting to develop the ability to see. I don't have it innately, but since I also have my Mercury in Sagittarius and my progressed sun is progressed over my natal Mercury, I'm actually beginning to actually have the ability to see my own thoughts. And it's kind of wild. They usually appear as orbs, like different colored orbs and stuff like that. And like I'm beginning to differentiate between what colors mean what. And it's kind of interesting. It's pretty trippy, actually. It's pretty freaking trippy. Aqua plus Scorpio is an ancient healing energy. Yeah. Scorpio, honestly, low key, Scorpio and Aquarius, they are incredible secrets. I believe it's the Peace Dealer. He said that Aquarius wrote the story. I think Scorpio helped co-write the story of humanity, or co-write the story of the universe. He said that Scorpio was the ticket master, which I definitely can see that. But I think Aqua wrote the story and Scorpio helped write it. I think Scorpio helped write it. And I think really what Scorpio did is like, look, Aquarius, you have to add Pisces into the mix. And it's not that I don't think Aquarius didn't want to add Pisces into the mix. I think what it was is that Scorpio was like, yo, we have to give a little bit more airtime to this Piscean energy. Because I think, well, for one, Scorpio is obsessed with Pisces. The reason why Scorpio is obsessed with Pisces is because unlike Scorpio, Pisces can feel deeply, but then they can just release it. They can release it because they're mutable water, so they can like feel deeply, and then they can release it, and they suppress, but they don't suppress in the way that a Scorpio does. A Scorpio will suppress so much that that water does become solid, and then it becomes ice. And then in order to actually understand where that emotion comes from, they have to dive into the icy waters and then begin to chip away at the ice to try and thaw it out. And it's a long fucking process. That's why we're co-ruled by Mars, because that's probably the only way we're going to be able to thaw it out is through sheer will. That's the only way. And I have my Mars conjunct my Sun conjunct my Pluto and Scorpio. So it's like, I've been there. I've done that. I probably will continue to be there and do that. But yeah, Scorpio and Aquarius is people say in like juvenile horoscopes, they say that Scorpio and Aquarius do not get along. I get it. I think what it is that Scorpio is obsessed with Pisces because Scorpio wants to be like Pisces. Scorpio is obsessed with Aquarius because Scorpio wants to figure out Aquarius, but Scorpio can't figure out Aquarius. And then there's this thing about Aquarius that is super fucking sexy to Scorpio because it's like the conundrum that can never be fucking solved. That's really what it is about that Scorpio Aquarius square. Now Scorpio and Leo is a very dynamic pair and super powerful. And I think a lot of Scorpio Leo combinations go on to have a lot of immediate direct influence on the collective. But a powerful Scorpio Aquarius pair is really hard. It's hard to beat. It's hard to match the influence that a pair like that can have. Another pair that can probably beat it, ironically, is the Sagittarius Taurus Quincunx. That's one dynamic that I've kind of have been like feeling into. The other one, for some reason, that's probably one of the most effective is Gemini Virgo. I don't know what it is about Gemini and Virgos. I do not know what it is about Gemini and Virgo, but whenever those two get together, they have such incredible influence on the collective. It's ridiculous. I've seen it multiple times, and they just bounce off each other so well. They just bounce off each other so well. Gemini Virgo, that square is a very powerful square. Yeah, dude, I got Sun, Aqua, Moon, Scorpio, Rising Leo. Oh, you got the Rising Leo too? Wow, so your rising opposes your sun. I guess I'll put your sun in what, the seventh house. That's really powerful to have a Aqua Sun in the seventh house. So you have some Libra influence there as well. But then with the rising Leo, it's like that makes you it makes you a star, honestly. But then when people really meet and get to know you, they probably feel that you might be a little bit more of, I use the word diva to describe Leo, but they probably may feel like you a little bit more of a diva when they first meet you. But then as they get to know you, they're like, oh shit, this dude's like really into something. And then if your moon is Scorpio, you definitely feel deep into it. But it's probably nice to have that sun in Aqua because it allows you to like detach a bit from your emotions a bit. I don't have a lot of air energy. I have Venus in Libra. I have Saturn in Aquarius, and I have nothing in Gemini. So I don't have a lot of air. I have a lot of water. I have a good bit of fire. I have a lot of earth. But my earth energy is mostly Capricorn energy. So they're either intimidated or weirded out. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Probably depending upon the way that you're portraying yourself, you may not bring out your full quirkiness immediately. Some people probably can tap into it immediately. But yeah, I mean, there can definitely be some intimidation. When people meet me, they usually are like, "Oh, he's a cool dude. He's calm." And I'm like, "Yeah, you have no idea the tempest I'm holding back." I'm not saying that I'm like, you know, I don't really think there's such a thing as good or bad people, but it's like, um, got Saturn at 8 degrees of Aqua. Yeah, my Saturn's at first degree. I'm right at the beginning. So I'm kind of happy that I'm getting my Saturn return pretty much as soon as Saturn reaches Aquarius. I am ready. Like, for a while, I wasn't ready, but honestly, I'm ready. I kind of want to get out the way. I'm like, yo, all right, Saturn, fuck my shit up. Like, just, especially since it's going to come over Pluto, it's going to come over the South Node. And I'm just like, yo, just come. And it's going to go on top of my Juno, too. So my Juno is at 29 degrees of Capricorn, 0 degrees of Aqua. So, yeah, shit is about to go down. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Yes, it is definitely going to go down. Dude, I made a post, and I'll read it to you all too. I'm this weekly is gonna probably go a little bit all over the place, but I don't really care. Um, So this is what I posted on my Facebook earlier because it's just how I was feeling. I'm literally going to make a real Hogwarts in this lifetime. Dude, do it. I posted earlier on Facebook how astrology will be taught in schools. And actually, that was one of my goals eventually, because I have a lot of goals besides teaching astrology, doing astrology readings, tarot readings, and I'm huge into writing. I know I'm probably going to write. I want to become, I'm not going to say the next of him, but I am inspired by Stan Lee. I am very inspired by Stan Lee. I'm very inspired by superheroes. But there needs to be a revolution and a renaissance in superhero movies because it has plateaued. It has plateaued, and no matter how much money you throw at these superhero movies, and they're good, I just have not been interested in them. They have not been interesting. No matter how much money you throw at these superhero movies, you cannot deny that they have plateaued. They have plateaued, and I want to take that to the next level. I really do. So that's a part of my path. But another thing I wanted to do was to open up an alternative school where you teach. Aquaman was good though. I will have to watch Aquaman because I have a lot of water energy, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I want to open up an alternative school where we teach things like the metaphysics, astrology, tarot, numerology, palmistry. But also, I want to kind of get back to basics, like how to grow your own food. Hopefully, weed will be legalized by then, so we can actually like grow like grow good shit. Like, and by that I mean like stuff that actually like targets particular things. I want to be able to develop strains that actually work for different kinds of signs. Like different, like if you are an Aries sun with a whatever moon, this is the kind of strain I would recommend to you. Like, I think that would be cool. And I literally just thought about that in the moment. See, this is what I'm talking about, quantum evolution, because our minds are going to start to think about things that or almost sort of like suppressed thoughts over the past year, and now we're going to be illuminated to them. We got illuminated to them. So wouldn't it be so cool if you can go into, and if you, whatever it is, whether you smoke weed or maybe even if you drink, what if you can develop even something like that to where it's like, hey, I'm a, yeah, let's just say I'm a sun in Aquarius with Scorpio moon. What do you recommend? And then they give you something, and just imagine how that would just augment your experience. Like, that would be so dope, and I think that that's certainly possible. In the school, we could talk about, we could probably do like a class on painting, a class on poetry, like I said, growing things. Balance, if money's still around, then balancing checkbooks, basic stuff like that. And when I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, I was like getting really inspired actually to, if I get to the point financially, to be able to go into these impoverished communities and build them up. Because it's a shame really that instead of actually helping these communities, we just push them further and further out. And it's really, really, really fucked up because you're only as good as your weakest link. And there are incredibly bright and gifted people, all of them really, but there are really incredibly bright, gifted people, especially children in impoverished communities, that just the light of their purpose and the light of that shines in their heart will never reach the light of day because people look at them and they're like, oh, you're from the ghetto, or oh, you're from a hillbilly mountain town in West Virginia, or something like that, you know? So it's really fucked up, and we should be able to go into these communities. I don't understand why we don't think that building up the weakest links, or what we perceive as the weakest links, would help to actually grow society, because we've conquered everywhere on the earth. You know, we can't really go to the poles. I mean, we can go to the poles, but we have spread all over the earth. We've conquered the earth. So what's next? You know what I mean? What's next for humanity? Do we just keep turning and turning away till we kill ourselves? Or do we actually create something? Do we, especially when we're in the spiritual community, do we reminisce and have the nostalgia, which actually means pain of, like, the pain that comes from memories? That's what nostalgia actually is. If you look up the etymology of it, do we have the nostalgia of Atlantis, or do we try to create something that is better? You know what I mean? I'm going to create VR Ascension Coaching. Do it. Please do it. We need that. We need all the light workers, light walkers that we can get. We need all of it. And it's like, no, and it's like, if we all work together, we really can do this. I'm telling you, like, this is 2019. By 2026, a very short 7 years, we're going to have two major planets in different signs. We're going to have Pluto and Aquarius, which Aquariuses are about to get that juice. Aquariuses are about to seriously, just like, as soon as Pluto hits, they're going to be like, and then they're going to just notice all of the dead pockets of society. Zap, transform, zap, transform, zap, transform. And then when Mars comes into, not Mars, when Neptune comes into Aries, nothing on Pluto, because Pluto's a badass that you really don't want to mess with. You really don't want to. You really don't want to bullshit Pluto. But I'm telling you, when Neptune comes into Aries, he is not fucking playing. She is not playing. She's going to take names. It's going to be ridiculous. It's a power game. People talked about moon resource mining rights on the World Economic Forum this week. I was like, yeah, why are we worried about the moon? Why are we so worried about the moon? We got to fix this shit down here first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why are we so worried about the moon? I mean, the moon is beautiful. I think there's a lot. I think a lot of the secrets of the moon are going to be revealed in the next 5 years as well. I got a stellium in Capricorn, so money will not be a problem. Let's fix this planet. Indeed, I agree. I have a stellium in Capricorn as well. What is it? My North Node, Uranus, Neptune, and Lilith and Juno. So for me, it's it's kind of interesting. I have actually insecurities when it comes to commitment, and since my Black Moon Lilith comes before my Juno, I have to learn how to climb past those insecurities to establish healthy relationships. That's actually one of the big themes in my life right now, and what I overthink is my relationship. Even though it's constantly shown me that it's amazing, and I'm honestly super grateful to have a wonderful fiance that I have. Don't even know how she's with my crazy ass, because growing up, I always thought I was just a nice guy, and then I realized, oh shit, I have this darkness in me too. But the weird thing is that I made friends with my darkness from an early age. I made friends with my darkness from an early age, and I've been learning how to alchemize it over time. And then there was a weird moment a couple years ago where I became afraid of my darkness. And then I shunned that side of me. And it's been weird because I made friends with my darkness. I even learned to really, I'll probably will talk about this in another live where I pretty much know my soul. I don't necessarily know the name of it, but it's more like a feeling. And it's like, it's this spirit that I know dwells within me. And powerful spirit, and I do a lot of work in the etheric realms. But essentially, I have became acquainted with this dark side, and the dark side actually helped me a greater portion of my life. Not so much that I would do dark things, but it was more like a protection. And then a couple years ago, it's like I left the protection of that dark side. Then I had to kind of find my way. And now it's kind of coming back in a sense. But when I say dark side, I mean this. I don't necessarily mean like the dark. I mean more like the yin aspects. You know, I mean more the yin aspect. I've lived a lot of lives where I've been female. A lot. I think, especially on the earth, I have lived disproportionately more lives as female than male. So part of my purpose in this life is actually to learn how to embrace that yang aspect, and to how to work with it in a more healthy way. Because I've been in past relationships, I've had very healthy relationships with men while being a female. I've had a lot of very shitty traumatic ones as well. And this is mostly just comes with the feeling. I haven't done any past life regressions or anything like that. It's just like a feeling. It's an intuitive knowing. I got lots of connections in the light. Let me know what you need. I got your back. I appreciate that. That's one thing I love about Aquarius, that you guys definitely are down and for real, even though you guys are controlling everything. But it's like, I feel like what happened with Aquarius is that they definitely meant well. But it's like the experiment of Earth just kind of went haywire, and Aquarius is like, we can fix it. And I believe that you guys actually can. I really do. I'm so tired of fire exes. That's because Aaron Fire is a super powerful explosion of energy, man. Look at that. I just got the devil card. You see that? I'm talking about the darkness, and then I pulled the devil card. What's going on? And then we have the Page of Cups in reverse. So I think literally what this is talking about, this is not just with me, but this is just in general. I think what happens is that when we, I think a lot of us are feeling emotionally raw right now, and maybe even emotionally, what's the word? I've been using juvenile a lot today, but that juvenile's not the word. Maybe a little even emotionally naive. Probably because we are reacting to a lot of stimuli that we have never reacted to before. Therefore, we are creating emotional currents that we have never had before. I'm speaking mainly of the internet and how you can get emotionally riled up based off of things that happen through the internet. And yes, the emotions themselves may seem the same, like, oh, this is sadness, oh, this is frustration, oh, this is excitement, oh, this is jubilation. But it's the way that it's coming about. You gotta think Capricorn is Capricorn rules the devil, and it also rules time. So I think what's happened here is that we are living in a time where we are really having to retrain the way that we react to stimuli, and we're having to seriously retrain our emotions. I believe that we come to Earth to master our emotions, because when we leave this place, we can create. I mean, we can right now, and we do, but it's like we're such super powerful beings, but like you got like when we get mad here, it can mean the destruction of like 5 worlds somewhere else. Whereas here, it's you just stubbing your toe out of bed. And people don't like to think of stuff like that, you know. But I think that stuff like that is definitely very possible. I think it's very, very possible. My daughter's a Cap. I got her with the Leo sun. Your cards were on point. My Leo ex probably was. Aquarius and Leo is a out of the oppositions, it's definitely one of the most powerful, certainly one of the most karmic. I think what happened with Leo and Aquarius is that because I mean it's interesting. Leo rules the sun, which is a star, and Aquarius rules astrology. But it's like the stars are so damn far apart. I think what happened was is that the sun just kind of started to get on everyone's nerves, or everyone started to get on everyone's nerves. So everyone's like, all right, no, we're just gonna split, we're just gonna spread out, we're just gonna spread out. It's like, well, how are we going to get to each other if we need each other? Oh, we'll figure out a way. So everyone spread the fuck out, and then it got quiet and lonely. He's like, oh, should I have all this space by myself? What am I going to do? What am I going to create? And that's what happened with Leo. Like, you create your kingdom, you create your queendom and stuff. And then somehow along the way, we built quantum spaceships and interdimensional travel and all that good stuff, so we're able to stay connected. So, yeah. Not only that, but imagine being with yourself all the time. Imagine a world where it was really just a bunch of views, like literally just a bunch of views. And like, I'm literally seeing like a world where you walk, like you're pumping your gas, I guess, and you walk into a gas station, it's you at the counter. But it's actually like you look into the reflection, it's that. Like it's a bunch of views. The only way I think that this would work is if we were all Pokemon, or if we were all something else. Because you notice in Pokemon, you can't really differentiate from one Pikachu to another, but they understand, know the difference. So it's like I feel like in a human vessel that would just be really intense. But I know someone has simulated it. Someone has to have simulated that before. I suppressed my emotions due to bullying for 18 years. In 2018, I woke up and my Scorpio mentor the emotions, so I'm learning how to feel. That's an interesting thing with Scorpios, that Scorpios feel so deeply, but a lot of times, and you have a Scorpio moon, so you obviously feel that. But we definitely will suppress our emotions, and that Scorpios do it because I'm about to give you guys some knowledge right now. Remember how I said that your actions here can have a profound effect, obviously, on your environment. How maybe if you stub your toe or if you yell at someone who cut you off in traffic, that can actually translate to something huge, right? What happens with Scorpio, especially when they get like super upset, is that essentially it's either like it's either like a whirlpool. It's like a massive whirlpool will just appear in that spot. Even if you can't see it, it's happening on another plane of existence. It's either a whirlpool or like a giant mountain of ice. I'm almost seeing a whirlpool and a giant mountain of ice coming up through the freaking whirlpool. And it's just like, oh yeah, my parents believe I have bipolar. Everyone, if the Earth has 2 poles, why wouldn't we? That's all I have to say to that. I know that there are people out there that have had serious issues and they've dealt with a lot of things, and there's serious mental issues. But I am invincible when I'm angry. So am I. Invincible when I'm angry. Invincible. It's kind of scary because I want to be invincible when I'm happy. So I don't. This is the honest truth. I don't always feel invincible when I'm happy. I feel like someone's gonna try and take it away from me. When I'm angry, I feel like nobody can match me. I feel like few people could actually probably match me. Maybe that's one thing with Aquarius. You don't want to piss off an Aquarius because Aquarius, like, you do realize that I can just sense a quantum chi blast. I don't even have to hold out my hand to do it. I can just mentally like teleport it into your body, and then you'll just like freak the fuck out. We need to give more fucks. Are you talking about Aquarius needs to give more fucks? Probably, because you guys are actually the heroes of the zodiac. Aquarius and Aries are the heroes of the zodiac. And I don't want to say that there are dark sides, there are dark and light sides to everything. But a lot of people like to try and paint Aries as the bad guy because it rules the ego. A lot of people like to try and paint Scorpio because it's dark. Everyone is sleeping on Cancer and Virgo. I'm not saying that these signs are bad or anything, but everyone's sleeping on them because Cancers are so sensitive and stuff like that. But Cancer could take over the world if it hasn't already. Virgo is also in the same boat, but Virgo kind of gets away with it because they are a little bit more logical than Cancer. But people like to think that it's the dark side of Aries and the dark side of Scorpio, or the dark side of even Capricorn. That's causing a lot of shit in the world and stuff, and it is. Just like the dark side of any sign. But people are seriously sleeping on Cancer and Virgo. And I love me Cancer and Virgo. My sister is a Cancer. My dad's a Virgo. I'm surrounded by Virgos. Surrounded by them. I have my Jupiter in Virgo and my Vesta there. And it's my midhaven. So obviously it has some type of importance to me. But it's like, I would hire an Aries to do my dirty work. But yeah, Aries, I would definitely employ a bunch of Aries to kind of. I mean, you can't do now. If I want someone to cover tracks, I want either Cancer or Virgo. Cancer will do it in such a way that they will just be able to. Actually, if anything, I would have Aries do the dirty work. I would have Virgo perfect it. Then I have Cancer be my PR. If I really wanted to do some crazy ass shit, that's what I would do. I would have Aries do the dirty work. Like I said, Virgo, I would have them perfecting it and making sure that there are no loose ends. And Cancer would be my PR, so that when Virgo somehow inevitably fucks up, because Virgo does do that because they try to be perfect, at least Cancer has my back on the good PR. So, yeah, that's what I would do. But let's talk about some of these other transits this week, guys. And I actually do want to hop into the chart real fast, so we can. And I really just enjoy just coming on here and talking about stuff because you get value out of these simply just by us being able to interact and bounce information off of each other. A lot of times I really love this format. This is why I want to almost have like a podcast or even do like more of these Starside chats where I invite people on and we talk about these things, because you bounce information off each other, and a lot of times things will come up that you never really thought about before. Just like how I thought about selective breeding of marijuana cannabis strains that actually are better for particular signs and stuff like that. Like that's like something like I don't know where that came from, but it was there. It was always there. My mind is insane. I'm going nicely on you. Oh, I know. That's I can literally look at my fiance and I'm like, dude, if my mind's crazy, I can only imagine what the fuck's going on there. Because it's fixed air. So Aquarius is very good at compartmentalizing their mind. But since their mind is so fucking vast, it's like this is how she's able to just pull shit out and like pull out random memories that they're gone for me, but she'll be able to pull out certain information. And I'm like, where did you get that from? But it's this ability to compartmentalize their mind that Aquarius has. That is such an incredible superpower. But since the mind is so vast, it's probably intense as well. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm really appreciative that I'm just a Scorpio. I'm just now getting to like the upper half of the zodiac. I'm like, I'm like in that. I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, I got my black belt, but I don't have my double black belt yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, and I'm a late degree Scorpio too. So it's like, I'm getting up there, but I have just enough to kind of help me. I'm like, oh man, y'all upper half zodiac signs are crazy. I have a couple of Pisces friends, and I'm like, I don't. I mean, I do wish I could manifest like they can, but damn, they go through some But let's actually hop into the chart with us. Let me share my screen and stuff. Let's see, where is it? All right. So yeah, here are the. So as you can see, we do have the Sun and Mercury right here at 8 degrees, 49th solar minute and 5th solar minute respectively. And 8 degrees is actually a step that is ruled by Capricorn energy. So this is about decision making. And then what happens after you make a decision, you take an action. So tonight into tomorrow, you're going to certainly have dreams about whatever decision, that you're going to be making. This is really powerful for me because I have my ascendant at 8 degrees Sag. So this is actually sextiling my ascendant. And you can also see the moon right here is in Scorpio at 22 degrees, and it's actually beginning to create this grand water trine with Chiron, which has finally come off to 28 degrees. I'm actually really happy about this. Some people might see, you have to understand, this is actually a relief for me. I have my moon at 28 degrees of Pisces. Chiron has been on top of my moon for a while. And even though the last degree of the zodiac, 29 degrees of Pisces, is arguably the most intense sign, the most intense degree of the zodiac, it's not as intense as having Mercury on top, Chiron on top of your moon in Pisces. It's almost like a relief. It's kind of crazy. It really is. It's like I kind of imagine myself carrying a load of like something that's like 5,000 pounds, and just that 1 or 2 pounds that was taken off of that load, I just feel a lot better. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to rest a bit today. And I came on here late because I just I know everything's about to change. I know everything's about to shift. And a part of me is when it kind of to attach to that nostalgia and to reminisce on the old days and the old way. And it's not like I'm never gonna play video games again. It's not like I'm never gonna smoke again or drink. Or I'm doing a thing right now where I'm not eating meat. This is temporary, and I don't eat red meat as it is. I haven't for a while. I don't drink soda. I haven't done that for a while. But what I'm doing is that whenever the moon goes into Scorpio, whenever it comes into Scorpio, which is my sun sign, I do my best to go vegan, to not drink or to not smoke or really do anything like that. I need to take the next step and actually meditate more. I haven't really done like quote unquote traditional meditation. I haven't even danced. But that's only because yesterday, while the moon was in the first half of Scorpio, I was at work all day, and it was it was a crazy day. It was a crazy day. Not only that, but I absorbed a lot of energy, and I felt like I had to just like release a lot of it because I did my best to put up blockages, not blockages, but to put up barriers and boundaries. But I felt so much desperation yesterday. Like I felt desperation. I could hear, I could just feel people's souls crying out, and it was so weird because you gotta understand, this is a Sunday rush at a Chinese restaurant in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, here in the South. We're in the Bible Belt, so like people are getting off of church, stuff like that. I even overheard someone speaking about how the sermon that they had, it left them flat. It left them unmotivated. I actually overheard someone talking about that, and I felt gutted right there because I'm like, this is people's life. People really do believe in this stuff, and I'm not really big into the religion and stuff like that. I do believe Jesus is a real person. I also believe that the person that people are praying to, or the being that people are praying to, so-called Jesus, is not actually Jesus. I think it's a stand-in, and I believe that this stand-in originally had good intentions, but now the intentions are that of evil and is actually zapping people's energy. I believe that Jesus, the real Jesus, is trying to go on the next adventure of their evolution, but they're being held back because this other entity that's masquerading as them is fucking up a lot of people. Like fucking up a lot of people. And it's really kind of shitty. But as you can see, tomorrow we're going to actually get this conjunction. By the time that we get this conjunction, the moon will be in Sagittarius. And if you even move it forward a few hours, which I will, I'll show that in a moment. But it will actually sextile this energy. So Tuesday night going into Wednesday, you're actually going to have probably some very intense dreams about your path and where you're going to be going, where you're going to be kind of aiming in life. We also have to consider. I mean, look at all this 9 energy. We have 9, 9. We have a 9 here in Chiron, and we have another 9 here with Mars, and it's actually beginning to square Pluto, coming off the trine to Jupiter. So this is a really big moment where we are going to seriously be looking over the past year, the past 2 years, and really start to make some decisions and really take some action in the direction of where we really see our life going. Now, and I'll just go ahead and move this forward so you can see when exactly the moon. See, as you can see, Mercury shoots past the sun, and by the time that the moon sextiles these energies, it'll be 29, 15, 35. And the moon's going to actually begin to square Neptune. So on Wednesday, the moon's going to shoot past the sun, and Mercury is going to conjunct Jupiter. Just move this forward. Okay, so yeah, you saw the. All right, so here's the square. So mid-afternoon, around afternoon time, we're going to get this square. So this is actually letting us know that the dreams that we had are possible, that they really are possible, that we actually really can move forward and move into a new space. But it's going to be a very mental time because we have 1 energy plus 4 energy, 4, which is actually Iranian energy. So it's really going to be it's going to be highlighting this. But 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 is ruled by Mercury. So once again, there's going to be an emphasis on this Sun Mercury conjunction. I'm telling you guys, it's highlighting all of what happened last year. It really is, and what we really think about it. But it's going to be opening us up to new thought. It really is, and this is all in preparation for the new moon in Aquarius that's coming up. But as you move this forward, the moon is going to conjunct Jupiter at 17 degrees. Super freaking powerful. The moon's going to move past it. And then, as you can see, it's actually going to probably going into the night, the moon's going to trine Mars. So really, Wednesday going into Thursday, you are really going to start to feel the action. You're going to start to feel the new world. You're going to start to feel what is really possible. Whereas before you were thinking about it, you may even be excited by it. Moon's going to come over Jupiter. You're going to start to really, feel into this expansion, feel into this possibility of what's really possible, how you can really take your imagination and really actualize it. And then by the time that the moon comes off of Jupiter and going into the next day, the moon will actually trine Mars. So the dreams this week, honestly, are going to be really intense. Definitely pay attention to your dreams. And I would definitely recommend, especially now that Mercury is in Aquarius, to write your dreams down. If you have a dream journal, now would be a very good time to start. If you don't have one, but if you do have one, make sure you write your dreams down, because when the moon goes into Sag, it's really, here's the cool thing about the moon right now. It's in Scorpio. So, and there's nothing in Scorpio. Look at what's behind. There's no major planets back here. Everything's past. Jupiter's past. Venus is past Saturn, Pluto. Like, we're not going to really get any major Scorpio energy besides the moon for a while. And we're not going to get any outer planets in Scorpio for a while. It's going to at least be 13 years before Jupiter comes back over here. You know, most of us aren't going to see Pluto get there. Most of us aren't going to see. I mean, a lot of us aren't going to see, like, most of us won't see Neptune get there, or Uranus. So a lot of this dark energy that's involved with Scorpio, a lot of this processing of these deeper emotional currents has passed. But look what's coming, guys. Look what's coming. Pisces. Pisces is coming, guys. Pisces is coming. We've gone through the Cancer stuff, and Pluto and Cancer generation, gone through the Scorpio stuff. This is why I said I really do feel like we are here to master our emotions. And especially with now, it's such a pivotal time, especially with the internet now. Look where all the energy is heading to. The energy is all heading right here, guys. The last two signs of the zodiac. This is major. Neptune's about to finish up here. So our imagination is kind of, in many ways, kind of finishing up with all the, kind of the old world, but it's about to like spark off a new world in 2026. But look, Saturn's got to come through here. Pluto's got to come through here. Like, this is massive transformation. So we can literally feel the old world dying. Actually, it's already dead because there's nothing in Scorpio. It's gone. It's been transformed. Now, look at this. On the same day as the 31st, you're going to get this sextile between Saturn and Neptune. And this is massive. People have been talking about this for a while. I know the Leo King's been talking about this for a while. Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. Saturn is in its home sign of Capricorn. You're not going to see this again, guys. You're just not. It's not. You have to do the math. I have to do the math, but you're not going to see this for a while. Because Neptune has like a what? It's like 100+ year transit around the zodiac. And Saturn's like 20-something years, like 27 years. But by the time that Saturn comes back into Capricorn, Neptune's not going to be there. So this sextiling energy is huge. Sextiles do what? They bring opportunity. They bring opportunity. Look where the moon's going to be. It's going to be at 24 degrees of Sagittarius, coming off of this trine to Mars, but heading into the trine with Uranus, with holy Uranus. Oh my goodness. And look where Venus is, beginning the trine with holy Uranus. And we have also, this is the fear that we're all feeling. It's this Chiron energy. Is if I really open up a door to these new possibilities, how do I know I won't get hurt again? How do I know I won't get hurt again? This is really where you have to just take that risk. You have to take that risk because there's a beautiful opportunity that's opening up here with this sextile. Such a beautiful opportunity that's opening up. You got to also consider these two planets are coming together, so we can feel the intensity. Like, if this Neptune was sextiling Saturn and it was closer to Pluto, like within like 2 to 3 degree orbs, people would really people are freaking out, but we should be happy and thankful and grateful that it's only about a 6 to 7 degree orb, because if they were closer, oh my gosh, people would literally flip their shit. Like, literally, it would be so intense. It will be so insane. But yeah, there's a major doorway is opening up this week. Major opportunities are opening up this week. And, this moon in Sagittarius is going to feel pretty awesome. I think it's because it was like, okay, like I had to process some deep stuff in Scorpio, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So when the moon comes into Sagittarius, it's almost going to feel like, all right, we want to party, we want to do this thing, but there's still some work to be done. You got all this energy on top of the galactic center point too. You got to think about that. The galactic center is about 27 degrees of Sag, but it has such a large orb of influence. And even you could say that Jupiter is within an influence because Jupiter is the largest planet, so it has a really big orb. This opportunity is huge. I'm telling you, Monday, Tuesday, really the whole week, but certainly certainly Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, these middle days of the week are massive for realizing what's possible, for developing new trains of thought, and there is an element of forgiveness here as well. There's an element of forgiveness, but it will take it will take some true strength and some true courage to forgive ourselves. I say that because what's going to happen on this day is that the moon is going to cross over Venus, which is going to want to strike up some balance and harmony. And this is in regards to our belief structure, right? Sagittarius. Um, and when the moon crosses over, it's going to actually square Chiron right before it goes into Capricorn. So what's interesting about this is that the moon is actually not going to go void of course. A void of course moon is what happens when the moon makes its last major aspect. But since Chiron is at 29 degrees of Pisces, the moon will actually be making an aspect to Chiron at the last degrees of Sagittarius and going into Capricorn. So we're not going to get a void of course moon. So it's like we're not really going to be given much of a break emotionally to process things. So it's like you can have the opportunity to expand when the moon goes into over Jupiter and really see the fortune and really actually envision a new future for yourself, a new now for yourself. And then with Venus is actually really to balance this out, to harmonize. But then it's going to make this hard square to Chiron. And the only thing that's really going to be helping the moon at this point is, well, if you remember, I guess what happened here, because water does have, the moon rules water, and water does have memory, but it's going to be trining Uranus. So coming off that trine to Uranus, Uranus is at 28 degrees Aries, 52 solar minute. So this square is going to be difficult, but it's going to really require a serious leap of faith. And then here's the leap of faith, guys. Bam. Right into Capricorn. 0 degrees. The moon doesn't like to be in Capricorn, but and then we start this balsamic phase of the moon. So it's weird because this Scorpio transit that we are in right now, it's like we think that this moment is dark and we're going to pop out into the light of Sagittarius and we're going to be, wow, look at what's all possible. This is amazing. And then when it actually goes back into Capricorn, it's going to feel dark. It's going to feel like we're kind of getting plopped. It's almost like we're going to feel like we're getting plopped in the middle of a battlefield or in the middle of it's going to feel like we're going to get plopped into the middle of an episode of Scooby-Doo. And we have to figure out who the monster is and stuff like that. And then we're going to start taking off masks of these monsters and we're going to realize it's us. It's always been us. It wasn't necessarily anything else. Now, there are dark forces, but I'm saying the reason why I'm saying it's us is because we are the ones that hold ourselves back. So when the moon goes into Capricorn, it really begins to test our emotional integrity and our integrity in general. We're going to realize that it's been us. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We have also been the ones we've been running away from. We are the heroes that we've been waiting on. We are also the criminals that we've been unmasking. And that's a powerful realization. And it's not going to really be, a lot of people might not take it too easy because then they're going to be like, oh shit, I have to actually take responsibility for what I do here? Yeah. And let's see what else we've got. So we do have this square that's going to be that's next week's. Oh no, that's not next week. That's this week. Excuse me. We have the Mars squaring Pluto, and look where the moon's going to be. 13 degrees. 13 degrees. And it's beginning to sextile Neptune. So even though we have this square between Mars and Pluto, which is huge, which is really going to test our belief structure. 3 is ruled by Sagittarius energy. It's really going to begin to test our belief structure. And with the moon here in Capricorn, it's really going to start to test our integrity, coming closer to Saturn. Friday going into Saturday, the moon's going to come on top of Saturn. It will go over Pluto later in the day. As you can see, Mercury has shot past the sun. It's at 15 degrees. It's actually beginning to sextile Jupiter. it just shot past the sun. So even though we're going to be kind of finding ourselves in a bit of this weird, spooky time, the weekend's going to be very weird just because the balsamic phase before Aquarius season is like, it's like watching a movie that you think you figured it out, but then the end throws you for just the craziest loop ever. And it's a very geniusly crafted movie where it has you thinking that you know what's going to happen. But by the time that the new moon happens in Aquarius, you're like, okay, what the fuck was that? No, seriously, what the fuck was that? Like, that's what's going to happen. Then on the second, we do have this trine between Venus and Uranus, which is a very beautiful trine, which is really going to be opening us up to new possibilities, new experiences, but it's also going to be asking us to probably take action that we haven't taken before to really begin to actualize and bring this into our life. The moon at 23 degrees will begin to oppose the north node. It will be coming closer to the south node. You can see the sun here at 13 degrees and Mercury here at 16 degrees, and they're moving a little bit further apart from each other now. At we reach Super Bowl Sunday, the moon will enter into Aquarius, and game on. And look at this, Venus will be right here. Actually, will Venus be shifting? Because that seems what it looks like on the same day. We do have Venus shifting into Capricorn. So yeah, from the beginning to end, the first part of the week is going to be oddly, well, not oddly, it's going to be very illuminating and enlightening. And the end of the week is going to use this word. It's going to trump the beginning of the week. Not that the beginning of the week is not powerful, but it's going to be the second half of the week is going to almost feel like a dark horse energy, and just how impactful it is. And as the moon catches up to the sun and Mercury, and as you know, Chiron's getting ready to leave Pisces, and Uranus is getting ready to leave, and you can see that we have some tension building here with Mars coming over Uranus. We have some tension building, and now, oh no, we just had the Sun and Mercury leave Capricorn, but look who's into the fray. Now we got Venus here, so there's definitely going to be this breakthrough in your mental faculties on thinking of new ways to really advance your life and to integrate these incredible vision that you have for yourself. But you are going to have the courage and the bravery to go where nowhere else has gone before, and to not be afraid to fight if you need to not be afraid to fight if you need to. So, but yeah, this is going to be a super massively powerful week. Let's hop into the chat to see what everyone's talking about. There's no chart on the screen, by the way. What? Did you guys not see the chart at all? Oh no! Were y'all not able to see the chart at all? Is that what happened? That's some fuck shit. You want to use some elemental magic to attract viewers for you. I appreciate that, brother. Oh my gosh, I just went in. Fuck it. It's okay. You know what? Because it's so interactive when I can get the chart up and show you what's going on. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to like go back and rewatch this. But anyways, the message got across. And I may even come up and do like a follow-up video in the morning where I just go over the chart with you all. But if you just listen to the passion that's in my voice, then you will definitely be able to tell that this is a massive portal of a week that we're walking through. And that's the reason why I feel like this is a week where it's like you are going to renege, you are going to go back on your bullshit, you are going to relapse in certain ways. But if you seriously put in an honest effort, you will be rewarded. If you don't put in an honest effort, if you don't put in the honest work, then you're going to suffer. And I don't really want to promote or project suffering on people, but a lot of the suffering will be self-induced. It really will. And let me be the first to tell you that I'm so good at that. Yesterday at work, was it yesterday at work or was it the day before? No, I think it was last night at work. Was it last night or the night before? I can't remember what day it was. Whatever day it was, I was just like agonizing mentally and just like just trying to like perfect everything in my mind. And then my guides literally just stepped in and they just like calmed me down. And it's almost like, dude, you're okay. You are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. And it's just like it was such a comfort because it's like I was running around in circles and they were able to just break through it effortlessly. That's how I know this shit is real. That's how I know that the path that I walk is real because I have this feedback loop of guides and helpers and angels that come through, and that when you can be running around in circles, they're able to penetrate that and get to the core of who you are. And they're able to tell you you're okay, you're fine, you're where you need to be, you know? And I'm telling you, your guides, your angels, spirit, source, God, goddess, call it, like, you really put in the work, honest work, you know? And yes, take time to relax, take time to rest, take time to blow. This is going to be bad advice, but this is also the sun also is going to come into Pisces soon. It's okay to blow off things that you plan on doing. It's okay to do it every now and again, all right? But, just, and that's probably really shitty advice, honestly, to blow off things like, I actually have a ring to do. And I should have did it today, but I didn't. But I needed to take time for myself. I really did. So um, tomorrow's a new day. I can even do it right after this. I've taken all the notes for the reading. I just haven't actually filmed it yet. But I had to take time for me. So it's like if you like make plans stuff like that, obviously, like I said, a Virgo would really not like what I'm saying right now. But it's like it's okay to blow off things sometimes. Sometimes like we feel like we have obligations. It's okay to blow them off because it like allows you like a serious reset. And it's not so much that you're like going back on your word or you don't care and stuff, but it's like really are taking time for you. And I think that's so fucking important. We live in a world where we have inundated ourselves with obligations. I can't just, and I want to learn how to play. For the longest time, I wanted to learn how to play piano, and I still do. But I think the instrument that I'm going to pick up is going to be guitar, because I want to just be able to play guitar under a tree in the hills somewhere and just play like music that's like reminiscent of like medieval times and just like write poetry and just chill. And I want to be able to do that for like a week straight and not have like any obligations to do. But we live in a time where we have inundated ourselves with so many obligations and we don't take time for our soul. We don't take time to nurture our soul and spirit. And like sometimes when you're running around doing other things that we do, especially here in the Western world, sometimes you just need to blow off things, man. Sometimes you gotta blow off meetings, sometimes you gotta blow off obligations and stuff like that. And like I said, this is very unconventional advice I'm giving you right now, but like it's okay. So like I said, you're going to renege, you're going to mess up, you're going to fall down, you're going to get dirt on your face and stuff, but get up, laugh, smile it off. As my dad said, kids are rubber bands. If they fall down, they get right back up. They don't break easily. So it's like, bend, don't break. And even if you do break, notice you can be put back together again. It's kind of interesting thing about a puzzle is that it comes to us in broken pieces. And even when you put it together, you can still see the outline. You can still see the outline of each individual puzzle piece, but it comes together to create a picture. right? So it's like, you know, bend, don't break. And if you're broken, that's okay. Like, it's actually, Chiron is at the edge of Pisces. Everyone somewhere feels broken. Everywhere somewhere feels deeply, deeply broken. And they're wondering if it's even fixable or salvageable. They're wondering if there's any way to try and uh, stay the course. And I'm telling you, especially if you find yourself going in emotional circles or mental circles or physical circles, maybe your health isn't where you want it to be physically, mentally or emotionally, spiritually. Know that no matter how many circles you run around in, your guides, your angels, and I can only call it love, even though I feel like the word love itself is limiting because I don't really think it's a word that really can describe it. But that vibration will reach you one way or another. It will reach you. It will find an opening, or it will fucking drill an opening through and reach you and tell you it's okay. You're exactly where you need to be. You don't need to try so damn hard. You really don't. Just give it an honest fucking effort, guys. Just give it an honest effort. You know? This is really gonna be one of those weeks where it's like we're gonna look back on it. It's gonna be like one of those weeks where it's like, oh my gosh, that week was super freaking powerful. Especially if you follow astrology and you follow particular transits. Like this Mercury conjunct the Sun is huge. Saturn and Neptune coming into its sex. How, like, what? Like, there's just so much. I have the Knight of Cups here. Remember how I got the Page of Cups in reverse? Now the Knight of Cups is upright. This is an incredible. This is recovery. This is like the Page of Cups in reverse was a kid that dropped their ice cream and is crying. The Knight of Cups is that kid growing up and creating a business where they sell ice cream and they make it. Like, that's what it is. That's what this week is. This week is like we dropped an ice cream cone and it melted in the sun, but then we turn around and we open up the dopest ice cream shop in town and everybody comes to it. And that kid that's now grown up and has their own ice cream shop, they sell an ice cream to another kid, and the kid drops the ice cream cone, and the kid starts crying, and the older kid, who's now an adult, runs up to the kid and pats him on the back and hugs him and gives him another ice cream cone, and be like, you know what? When I was your age, I also dropped an ice cream cone, but now I sell ice cream, and you can do it too. Like, that's what this week is, guys. That is what this week is. I don't think I really need to draw any more cards because I think that's actually just perfect way to end it as far as with the cards go, is that we a lot of times we are our own worst enemy, and like there are darker forces, there are darker entities and stuff like that, but like and we can get distracted by all of this external bullshit, but this is really about a realignment of this inner peace, tranquility, and just a sense of order. But in order for us to get there, things have to break down first. That's what Pluto and Capricorn is all about, right? So I want to help people who struggle with bullying. Yes, that's good. And you have a very unique experience with that too. I I was bullied. I don't know if I feel like I've kind of compartmentalized it. I don't think I was bullied as bad as some other people. Um, I really don't think I was, but I was bullied too. Um, Bullying is a big issue, and a lot of times the people that bully, they come from really broken households. They come from terribly broken households, and I I would love to see the esoteric arts really begin to infiltrate psychology and all these different things, psychiatry, where you have someone who actually works with. First of all, when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, especially romantic relationships, and then of course when you become parents, they obviously that everything affect each other and you affect the kids, right? So it's like I really do feel like it is pertinent to get counseling or to get some type of like checkup. I would say every year. I would say every year on I would say if you run like a composite chart, I would say every year whenever Venus reaches that same spot. Whenever Venus reaches where it is in the composite chart of two individuals, and I will also say Saturn would be important. Or whenever something goes over those areas, I think it'll be very, very healthy for couples to have some type of it can be therapy, yeah, but and I hesitate to use those words because when people think of therapy or someone going to see someone or psychology and stuff, there's this whole stigma of them being broken, something's wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with them. This is a crazy ass human experience, and we have really cornered ourselves into all kinds of crazy sensations. So I think it's very important because if you can begin to heal those relationships, then you can really begin to eliminate bullying. Because what happens most of the times that these kids are looking for outlets, they're not getting the attention from their parents that they need. They're not getting attention from, so they start to act out and do different things. So bullying is definitely a serious issue. I use video games to escape, so I'm going to mix magic and mental health to reach kids victims. I love video games. Video games is one of the ways that I escape and cope too. Some days when I'm having like serious anxiety, one of the few things that actually helps me is by playing video games. And it does have to be kind of particular. I have to like really get invested in it. But video games are really therapeutic. One of my first mentors, when I had my awakening, we had a bit of a falling out just because I didn't agree with all of his stuff. But he did say that video games were very good for him. So magic, mental health, and gaming. Gaming is super important. Video games are so important. They really are. Oh, and video games are we haven't even seen video games yet. When Pluto reaches Aquarius, that's where we're going to get the most insane video games. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. I just realized my character in WoW literally is my higher self. It is my true identity. A lot of times, that's what happens. In any of these like role-playing games, stuff like that, a lot of times the characters that we create in them, our higher self is really being injected into those characters. So it happens a lot. It happens a lot of time. It's happened to me with different kinds of games, whether it's role-playing games. I play Pokemon a lot, so I know I'm channeling time from when I've been in the Pokemon world. I know I'm gonna go back to the Pokemon world soon, so it's like because Pokemon definitely exists. I firmly believe that. I really do. I'm just stubborn with that one, but I've been there too. But I had to come back to Earth and stuff like that, where it's revealed as just a TV show and a game because I have a mission here and stuff. But I noticed that I do that. Like right now, I'm playing Madden. I'm kind of well-rounded. Like I played sports growing up and stuff. So when I create characters on here, I know it's an aspect of my higher self, or I'm channeling another reality of myself where I played in the NFL and stuff. We create our subconscious traits that we are afraid to show. That is absolutely true. We feel like it will be better to recreate them than to show them because we wonder how people will react to them. And then once we realize that everyone else is doing it, we'll be in good company. We are in good company because we're all doing it, right? We're all doing it. But yeah, that's why people get really, really invested in the video games, especially like these role-playing games, is because you are recreating yourself in those games. You really are. And a lot of aspects of your higher self where you get transported to these magical worlds where anything is possible, and then you come to this world where it seems mundane in comparison, but you're like you play these games, he's like, I've been there before. Like I feel like I really have been there before. And I firmly believe that this world can look like that. I really do. But a lot of it's actually just the whole faith thing. And a lot of that's the Sagittarius energy and the Pisces energy. But since all of these energies are moving into the second half of the zodiac, into these final two signs of Aquarius and Pisces, we are in a very pivotal time in humanity where we are really shedding away the old world and coming into a new world. We're really coming into a new world. So Um, I definitely probably have gone longer on here than I thought, and oh man, like I got the taste to have some sushi earlier. I want sushi. I wanted a salmon skin roll. Dude, Pokemon X and Y, X, Y, and Z is in France. Pokemon Sun and Moon is in Hawaii. My spirit guide say I will have mansions in both places too. Sounds like Lemuria is supposedly a part of Hawaii. I have been calling Hawaii the bridge for a while. And the bridge to what? I'm not necessarily sure, but I believe Hawaii is the bridge. I believe Hawaii is the bridge. I have like this weird belief that if an event like Noah's Ark, and I may be revealing secrets, but honestly don't give a shit. If an event like Noah's Ark were to happen, or like on what the 2012 movie where everything got flooded, I think Hawaii would be saved. I think Hawaii is the bridge. I believe Hawaii is the bridge. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I get that Hawaii is the bridge. Um, yeah, and I love the fact that Pokemon based a region off of Hawaii. I'm actually replaying Pokemon Y right now too, which is a very scorpionic energy, right? Pokemon Y, because it's the Yveltal, which is like this giant eagle bird dragon of dark destruction and shit. like, like what? I've been told my galactic heritage is Lemurian. I think I can channel them. Go for it. I haven't really looked much into my galactic heritage. Well, I have looked into my galactic heritage and stuff. I have. I also do feel like that one of the things that's holding back the spiritual community, especially, is um, sort of holding on to what was. Not that we can't learn from it, but I believe, especially Atlantis, I feel like we are trying to recreate Atlantis, and we're not supposed to recreate Atlantis. We're supposed to create something new. But I think there's a lot of pain of what happened and what went down in Atlantis. I was there. There's a lot of pain of what went down in Atlantis, and like there's a lot of pain of what went down in Atlantis, and a lot of that is being healed right now, especially with the North Node in Cancer at these last degrees. I need to make a video about that and how I really do feel like this North Node in Cancer is seriously healing. Because you got to think, if Saturn is the planet of time, you got to think Cancer's got to be the planet of emotional memory. It has to be. It's opposite Saturn, so it's like Atlantis exists in 4D. We will get there soon. Yes, I believe what happens when we get there is not that it's not gonna be great, but it's going to be vastly different than what people remember it as. I think it's going to take on it's going to take on a different look. It's going to take on a different look. It's going to be like, wow, Atlantis is evolving just as much as Earth is. It just as all of these realms are evolving. They're all evolving alongside each other, through each other, of each other, you know. So, but yeah, there is a bit of this energy where I feel like people are kind of holding on to what was. I astral traveled to Atlantis at night to negotiate something. Never remember it. Yeah, I do a lot of astral travel myself. I definitely get transported to other worlds and stuff. I definitely do a lot of dream work. I do a Pisces moon, so I do a lot of dream work. A lot of dream work. And I've been lucid dreaming for a long time since I was a kid. I taught myself how to lucid dream. I don't lucid dream as much anymore, but I think it's because I developed it to the point where I don't have to be like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then I'm like, oh, I'm in a dream. Like it's kind of to a point where it's just like it's like a feeling. It's like a feeling now in my dreams. So I should have you on a talk. Do you? I don't know if you make any videos and stuff like that, but we are bouncing a lot of good information off of each other, and I'm sure this will provide great value for anybody who rewatches this. So that's good. We should definitely link up and do some type of collaboration. I'm definitely down for that because if I haven't, well, how many parties? I have a cousin who's an Aquarius male, but he's like 0 degrees Aquarius. He's like right there on the cusp. It's like right there on the cusp. My fiance is 27 degrees Aquarius. It's like she's like way out there, and I'm 24 Scorpio, so our square is pretty close. But she's like way out there. I'm like, girl, like you are trying to channel in some really divine information, some really future ancient knowledge that the world is really isn't ready for yet. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know if I'm fully ready for it either, but I roll with her, I rock with her. So yeah. I'm actually starting to appreciate my earth energy more. I'm trying to appreciate it more because what I did when I had my awakening, which was, I mean, I've been aware and stuff like that, this stuff for a while, but I can say, I'll probably say that my awakening probably happened around 2014, 2015 or so. I was practicing the elements. So I would literally, I have like this garden or this place I go to in my mind, in my imagination. It's like a meditation place. And um, the world is ready. It will be forced, and that's definitely true. It is going to be forced. But I always teach myself how to work with the elements, like how you see, like in the Avatar: The Last Airbender, like literally work with the elements in that way. So initially, I have a predisposition towards working with water and fire, well, especially fire. Even though I have quite a bit of earth in my chart, earth was actually one of the was like the last element that I really worked with, and it was tough. It was actually tough to try and actually develop the earth bending. But the form of earth bending that I was trying to do was like stupid advanced shit. But I think it was my North Node in Capricorn that was putting me through it. Jupiter was telling me it was possible. Of course, Uranus was, and Neptune was just like, oh, why not? Let's just try it anyways. I literally tried to grow a sapling from a giant rock. I literally tried to just like grow a sapling from a rock and see how I could do it. And I did it, but it was tough as shit. This wasn't just like moving rocks and stuff like that, like you see like in the Avatar: The Last Airbender and stuff like that. I was like trying to do some magical earth shit. But ironically, since I've done that, I've kind of had a very interesting journey with the earth element stuff. Learned a lot and I gained a lot of experiences. Like I said, I felt like last year I probably have made the most money as far as being a server than any other year of being a server. But I'm ready to take it to the next level. So, anyways, I'm probably gonna head out of here on in a bit because I'm hungry and I'm gonna go back to play video games. Today's kind of one of those days where I kind of just want to just binge and play video games and just like watch Pokemon and stuff like that. But I am very happy I came on here. I almost did not come on here. I almost didn't come on here today. I was 30 minutes late to coming on here. I really wanted to, but really happy I did. I got some messages like that I wasn't even really thinking about. I was like, wow, that's new. Ooh, that's new. That's new. I saw a prediction that if Trump doesn't declare peace with 2032, it's from a very legit psychic medium, kind of crazy. Whether we get drowned by a tidal wave physically or spiritually, I definitely can believe that. I don't know if it'll be physical. If it's physical, holy shit. And Trump would do us all right by declaring peace with China and Russia, because China, they're on some intense shit. They really are. They are, and China will actually help to free the world in many ways. I think America has to kind of realize that, what America's like the trajectory of America is shifting. I think a lot of people are really upset about that. But we have to remember America is young. This is an experiment. We're teenagers. We're barely preteens actually compared to the rest of the world as far as like established countries. So it's like to think that America, we like to fantasize that of a world ruled by preteens and teenagers, but it's not possible yet. It's possible. That's what makes America so revolutionary, because kind of like the vibration of preteens and teenagers actually ruling the world instead of adults. But we need China and Russia is there are major portals in Russia that actually I'm probably giving out information about that. I'm just channeling. There Russia and like the land there and the energy pockets there and the nodal points of these energy intersections like these ley lines, stuff like that. Russia is sitting on very, very, very adept, very, very, very futuristic and advanced technology. They just are. They just are. So yeah. Yeah, I could definitely believe that a wave is coming, whether it's physical or spiritual. If the physical one doesn't happen, it'll definitely happen spiritual. It may even happen even if they do declare peace, but it won't be as bad. But like I said, why is the bridge? So that happens, that's wrong. But anyways, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Join me tomorrow, and I actually will be going live. And I'm not going to be late to it. We're going to be doing part 2 of the celestial commitment ceremony because we do have 4 planets home. We have Mars in Aries, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Capricorn, and we have Jupiter in Sag. This is unprecedented. Mother Gaia will start to cleanse herself in 2025. Agreed. But yeah, join me for the celestial commitment ceremony. I probably didn't make it on all my commitments and stuff, but we're going to rewrite these out and have a good time. This is going to be part 2. Part 3 has already been scheduled. Part 3 of the celestial commitment ceremony will take place when Mars conjuncts Uranus. That'll be February 12th, 13th, like 2 days before Valentine's Day. So join me tomorrow for part 2 of the Celestial Commitment Ceremony. That's going to be really fun. That's going to be really good. And we are really just going to be committing to becoming our best versions and our best selves, and also committing to gratitude and committing to forgiving ourselves if we don't feel like we're, in integrity, if we don't feel like we are doing exactly what we feel like we need to be doing and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much. Shout out to Spells Inc. Thank you so much I hope I said that right, for joining me. Really enjoyed this. We're gonna have to get on a live together, dude. Like, I want to invite you onto a Starside chat. That'll be really fun. So, there may be a potential guest tomorrow too for the Celestial Commitment Ceremony. There may be a potential guest. Just letting you know that we may be featuring another astrologer here on YouTube that you probably know all too well. But yeah, an incredible astrologer. I really hope they can come on. If not, then I'll probably do something else with them at a later date. But in any event, I love you all so much, and take what you will from this message and go out there this week and just do the best you can, and know that no matter how many circles you run around in, your guides are here for you. Goddess is here for you. Mother Gaia is here for you. I'm here for you, and we're here for each other. And it's only love. It's really only love. It really is. And even though I feel like even that word, I guess, love, is limiting in actually accurately describing that vibration, it really is only love. So thank you so much. I love you all. Y'all take care. Blessings. Have a blissful evening. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.